Aho, Broad Coven. I am here to drop in with all of you for a collective read and download for the Blue Super Moon tonight, okay? Tomorrow on the 31st will be when we're really integrating this experience, when we will discover, did we claim Dogda's Cauldron? And we'll get something really cooking then, okay? But tonight is all about the quest for fire. And we are going to just bring in a little cleansing energy right now with bay leaf. I got a lot of downloads coming in from my ancestors around this. Quanah Parker came in very strongly for me. We're going to battle tonight, okay? And we're meant to be playful about it, all right? We're working a bit with this like sacred clown kind of energy. Are you ready to go to the big talk? Hey, ho, let's go. All right, we're going to go to the big talk tonight. And let's make fun of it, okay? There's this practice that we see in yoga. It's called laughter yoga. And, you know, it's when you let all your demons come out to play. And you allow yourself to really go to that place. You allow yourself to dive into the shadow. And you let your demons be fully expressed. But you make it playful. Okay, so a lot of laughter, a lot of smoke and mirrors. Okay, so be prepared for a hall of mirrors, a hall of fun house mirrors tonight. Right, there is sweetness on offer. Our main job that we have tonight is to clear out the bad blood. All right, that's what I really got. That's the download. We're meant to clear out the bad blood. Right. And there will be this like cleansing of the land, this purification of the land. I got like the waters will pour down from the heavens and they'll like wash everything anew kind of energy. And I believe that's very symbolic of that water that goes in that cauldron of Dagda. But we can only get it cooking, right? We can only cook something up if we get the fire. So this is the quest tonight for fire. And in order to claim it, you're going to be able to have to, you know, be in a position where you can really face your fears. So just bringing in a little purification energy. I also want to just bring in a little prayer for all of you that are questing tonight with this blue supermoon. It's funny because there's been some really interesting stuff happening with time. I'm sure you're all experiencing this. I dropped in to dream time. I did a little journeying this morning. I thought I was going to like drop in for 15 minutes. I lost 3 hours. All right. So we're definitely Merc riding right now. I've already had the Council of Crows come and visit me. And I got the memo. All right. I got the download. And there's some interesting things playing out tonight. Okay. So what we're really doing tonight is we're closing old karmic cycles, right? But it's more about our ability to cleanse away all within us that is unlike love. And in the end, we know love always wins. Love always prevails. So this is about your ability to step out of that bad blood and to let it be spilled upon the land where it can be absorbed, where it can be composted, where new things can grow from it, and to come back into this place of unity, consciousness, rainbow tribe coming forward very strongly. All right, it's time for us to come together. It's time for us to stop holding on to dividing lines. And it's time for us to call the light forward in the world, right? So I'm going to work with a couple different decks in this regard. I got like, you know, the talking stick, you know, on hand. I encourage you that if you're having any communications tonight with another, if you're actively working through the energy of this moon within a group dynamic or with a loved one, like get something to symbolize a talking stick, okay? So you can like hold on to it and let the person who has the talking stick, or you can even use a peace pipe if you like to roll that way, okay? Has the floor. And just practice listening, okay? Deep listening. This is about understanding where you have division with others. You're actually looking into your own eyes, right? It's about dissolving this consciousness of the enemy to get to the core truth, which is unity. It's all one energy, two sides of the same coin, all right? So really potent work, but do be prepared. It'll probably get a little wild. It'll probably get a little out there. I got a little pouch for the collective. Charged up for this journey. You hear that jingling? You know what's in there? You know what's in there? For transmutation, I got the keys. I got the keys. All right. I got the keys. All right. There's keys in here. Okay. So many keys. There's so many keys here. And they all open up different doorways, different passageways. We're working with rabbit medicine tonight. Rabbit medicine in many tribes, many Native American, Indian tribes. Rabbit represents the trickster, okay? But there's also the peace that rabbit also represents our fears, what we're afraid to face. And it's also how we can sabotage blessings. It's also how we can sort of cut ourselves off from source by moving into this place of being in a fear space, so much of a fear space, so much anxiety, so much feeling of I'm not going to have what I need. I'm not going to have what I deserve. And why does this person have this and I don't have that? Okay. So it's this spirit of greed, this spirit of envy, this spirit of hatred. It's the 7 deadly sins vibe, man. Okay. It's these spirits that we're casting out tonight. Okay. We're casting it out together. We're casting out everything that is unlike love and our success. Yeah. See, this is what's going on. This is what's going on right here. This light, right? There's energy out there that is not happy about the light that's building, all right? There's enemies. There's enemies to the light. There's enemies to the light. Okay. Okay. There's enemies to the light. There's enemies to the light. They're not liking this energy. Happy travels. Happy travels. Happy journeying tonight. All right. Because the enemies to the light are front and center tonight. All right. So hunker down. This is a test. This is a test. What are you seeing? What are you creating? Remember, we got Apophis is front and center. Apophis is the evil energy that wants to steal the light, wants to steal the light, all right? And we're meant to call that light forward. So this is a test for you. Are you able to really hold the light? Are you able to shine the light forward? Or do you move into fear? And so there's going to be things that happen tonight under the pale moonlight that make you question if you got it right. If you got it right. Only you know the truth in your heart. This is about having that metal tested. I think that's so wild how it's like, boom, you know, something tries to throw away the light there. I'm so used to dancing with the devil. Oh, it's judgment time, all right? It's judgment time, all right? And we're going to find out what side of the scale do we land tonight. That's the energy. You have to remember, okay? And I'm a Libra, big Libra energy. Libra has to be the center balancing point, which means you have to know both your shadow and your light in order to be truly empowered, right? And so this piece is coming forward very front and center about being able to be that balancing point. Can you be that balancing point? Can you stand in the center of contradiction and recognize that both are one and the same? Both offer medicine. Both offer opportunity for growth. And it was 10:10 on the clock when I said that. We are closing out an old cycle, okay? We're letting the bad blood spill so we can step into a cycle of fulfillment. Now I'm going to go ahead and work with the Arcane Bullshit deck right here. We've got Master of the Hunt. Okay. So do you see this? Do you see this energy? It's like clowning energy. It's that sacred clown energy. And we're playing, we're having fun. It's a little bit of mischief and play, but it's smoke and mirrors. All right. And yes, there's people out there that don't want these kind of messages to come through, because this is the medicine that's actually very empowering here. All right. It's an opportunity for you to really test your chops. Have you done your alchemy work? Because if you know that you are centered in love, there really is nothing to fear. But if you have question about that, if you have questions about whether or not you've taken actions that were in alignment with love, 11:11 on the clock, then it can rouse fear in you, okay? And you need to confront that. But there's a healing, there's a cleansing that comes through the work tonight. And this is what leads to the rebirth. This is what leads to the new beginning. I love working with this stuff, all right? I love working with this stuff, and I've been really prepared for this. I've already been having, yeah, look at this, the pregnant babies. You see, we're encountering the fear, but there's something born anew that rises out of this, okay? So it's freedom that rises out of this. It's freedom rock, man, with the shitty acoustic guitar guy here, all right? So please, you know, don't make it such a dismal thing. This is really going to challenge you. It's sort of like, this is an opportunity to see what you're creating. What are you manifesting? Are you putting tokens in the bank for hatred, for fear, for envy, for those 7 deadly sins? Are you poisoning? Are you poisoning the tribe? Are you poisoning this earth tribe, this rainbow tribe, the tribe of humanity? Or are you contributing something that leads to growth, that leads to beauty, that leads to transformation? I just think it's so wild that those like lights are trying to fall down. It's like, no, 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 no. No, we got the light. We got the light. You know, we're going to hold on to it. Prometheus comes front and center, all right? It's this kind of energy. Prometheus is coming front and center. It's about entering that cave and finding that fire, the quest for fire. It's what lights the way forward, all right? So let's just see. Let's get some cards here. Let's see what's coming out. It's very interesting because I thought I was going to get the Supermoon series done, but it just kind of like snuck up on me. So don't worry, those signs that still remain, which are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, you all will be taken care of this week, you know, and it might even lead into next week, but that's okay, because this particular Supermoon series, Once in a Blue Supermoon, we're looking at the quest for the Cauldron of Dagda next, okay? And so that's going to be playing out until we reach September 29th with that final Supermoon in Aries, okay, to close things out. But I think it's so interesting. I think it's so interesting that I thought, you know, that there was going to be this Supermoon going down tomorrow. And there's this like illusory quality to the time right now. Like time is really mutable. But when I really think about it, I think what is the core desire that comes through with obtaining the Cauldron of Dagda? It's for that transformation, right? It's to cook something up that's nourishing for the collective. It's got big like potlatch energy, okay? If you're not familiar with the potlatch, I encourage you to look it up. I don't know, maybe you might want to make like some kind of turkey stew or something along those lines, all right? Yeah, look at this, toilet angel, all right? This is what we're doing. We're taking all the pain, all the fear, all the loss, all the hurt, all the separation, and we are flushing it, okay? We are flushing it. Some of you may also notice at this time, as you're going through this transformation, that certain things are going to be highlighted for you, all right? Look at this. I love this. Look at it's so indicative of the third road here. You see on one side we have the heart, on the other side we have the head. We have the third road in between that leads to wisdom and the protection of blessings. I love, look at the feet. The feet even remind me of like Lilith's feet, that energy that's been coming in. It also reminds me of like sacred eagle energy. That's definitely been coming in. That's great spirit, okay? So there's a cleansing that's happening here. There's a cleansing that's happening here. And there's also like a giving the finger to anything that knocks you out of your sovereignty or knocks you out of that place where you are able to really fuel the love in your life, okay? It's giving a finger to fear by making fun of it, all right? So this is a very creative, playful space. And it's very community minded, all right? We see that here. I'm just gonna kind of like just cover this up just a little bit, little decency here, okay? But we see that with the pantless beekeeper, okay? You know, it's like if you're not thinking collectively, all right? If you're not thinking about what's good for the collective, when we're looking at bee medicine, we're looking at pollinators, right? They help things grow, and it's a network. It's a network that connects everything. So if somebody is greedy, they're holding on to all the sweetness, they're holding on to all the honey for themselves. They're not considering that potlatch spirit of paying it forward, of having gratitude, of giving to others, of thinking about the tribe. Then, you know, you're going to get caught with your pants down and it's going to sting. And so what we're entering into tonight is like this fun house hall of mirrors. Now we take the hall of mirrors to the next level. Now we're really looking at the distortions in the mirror, but it's a playful space, okay? So play in the big top. You'll notice a lot of this energy coming in. It's humorous. It's not meant to fill you with fear. It's meant to open you up to a new perspective. That doesn't mean that there's not times that it's going to challenge you, because anytime we go for some kind of quest for power, we get challenged, right? We get challenged, and it all depends on where you are within yourself. Look at this. Sword hoarder. Now, this energy here is stubbornly holding on to the aggression, holding on to the hatred, holding on to the malice, you know, the greed. Do you see how it's all evident here? This will isolate you. And actually, this energy is being actively sequestered right now. It's being actively sequestered right now. You'll know what group you fall in by the kind of experience you have tonight. If you find yourself in a creative play space, if you find yourself filled with humor, if you find yourself just entering that dream time space where you can envision a new way forward, then you know you're on the right side of the tracks. If you find yourself in a space where you're feeling self-protective, defensive, scared, then you know you've kind of been sequestered to do your karmic cleansing. But even in that case, after the cleansing, because I really got this, you know, it's a washing away. It's a washing away. It's a cleansing of the bad blood to start anew, open the new cycle. All right. It's actually really beautiful energy. It's very wild medicine. It'll challenge you. Okay. It just all depends on your ability to stay focused. And I'm going to bring in owl medicine here. Look what we got right there. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Do you see this? If you can stay in your heart, if you're tuning in for this, you're already on the right track. Then I know that you're in this place. Okay. So just know you are covered. You have this Ace of Pentacles is promised to you. Just hunker in and give yourself some sweetness tonight. Nurture yourself, receive, let your ancestors hold you. I got this message in really strong that you don't need to fight this battle. If you're in fight mode, you're in the wrong mode. If you're in a space of love, you've already let go. You've already let go. You already probably let go last night. You had a big cleansing, a big release last night. You probably felt a lot of peace coming after that. It was very soothing for your soul, all right? I'm telling you, the enemies of the light are not going to be happy about this. So you might hear some interesting things happening in the environment around you, all right? It's nothing to be afraid of because love is your shield, okay? If you're here, you are safe, all right? You're in this nest. You are sequestered in this space of love. You are shielded by great spirit. Your blessings are secured. And there's a karmic balancing happening. It was 20 on the clock when I said that. You are about to come into alignment with your gifts. So if you have not yet, I really encourage you to drop in, you know, drop in with your ancestors and, you know, let them guide the way. Let them guide the way. Spend some time with them tonight. It's a really good way to work with this energy, and maybe do a little journeying with your ancestors is a beautiful way to work with this energy. So we're bringing in the entire collective on this. Let's just get a read. Let's let this owl medicine bring in the guidance for the way forward to make it through this birthing portal tonight to the other side. Some of us will be cleansed by fire. Some of us will be cleansed by water. This is the download that came in, right? Those of you who really claimed your fire, you've already been doing this work. You've already stood in the fire test of truth. You are being cleansed by water tonight, okay? That means that you get to be in this beautiful, like soft, silky, nurturing place where you really feel held by the mother, okay? And it's going to just be so beautiful. And there's going to be so much sweetness flowing in, just the sweetness of the rasa. I love that, you know, the sweetness of the rasa. It's this beautiful undulating, you know, kapha energy. It's that divine mother energy just filling your cup and making you feel like held close to her bosom. So don't worry about, you know, any repercussions, all right? You're already to the other side. You already did your, you know, you already like faced your demons, you know, you've already integrated that. You've been walking the good red road, okay? So your way forward is secure. Nothing's going to take that from you, okay? And right now, it's almost like you're like this like little tender baby, you know, and you're being held by Great Spirit. Great Spirit is like soothing your heart and saying, your time of fighting, your time of struggling with this, it's done. It's time for you to just receive the sweetness of the bloom. You willingly grasp the thorns. You willingly faced your pain. You willingly faced your fears. And you elevated that energy. You took what was subconscious and you elevated it into the light. And because of that, you now have claimed your destiny, which is what the Cauldron of Dagda is all about. It's like, okay, what you getting cooking now, right? What you getting cooking? You'll have something really sweet come in with the new moon in September that happens in Virgo on the 14th, okay? So just enjoy this time, right? And don't worry about anything that's going on around you. I think that some of you have already received guidance. You've already been highlighted, you know, by spirit, what needs to be cut off, what needs to be released, what needs to be surrendered. So we are doing cleansing tonight, but there's two different roads, okay? There's two different roads in this big top, and one is a purification by fire, and one is a purification by water. Neither is wrong, okay? We're all in this together. If it's a purification by fire, yeah. Oh, and just as I said that, I see this energy of the crows just flew by the window. Okay, so there are going to be some people that are going to have a purification by fire, right? But it's heading up to the north. So it's like, this is what secures your destiny. Before you can step into your destiny, you have to have courage. And courage is born from a place of love. All right. So this is about releasing the fear. I encourage you to laugh with it. Go ahead. Let yourself go a little bit out of your mind. It's healthy. Sometimes you need to get out of your mind to, you know, drop into your heart. And so this is about making that journey that the Sioux speak of, the longest journey from your head to your heart. Okay. So let's see what Al wants to bring in for us. What does Al want to say? Look at this, Two of Pentacles. Do you see? It's the karmic balancing point, all right? And it brings about the connection between what used to be opposing sides and unites it in this point of unity, eternity. And I just love the way this comes in, you know, because normally the Two of Pentacles, it shows this like juggling energy. And this is like, no, this is karmic balance, okay? So this is a time of really like, no, Ma'at will not be stopped from doing her job. Ma'at will be weighing your heart against the feather. And there's something that comes through here. So the reason why I decided to work with the owl medicine, and some people may think that it's interesting, in particular, just with the association that most Native American Indian tribes have with owl, all right? Owl is considered very taboo. Owl is considered the deceiver. And we are working with that energy. We are working with that deceiver medicine, okay? But there's one type of owl that my particular ancestry, Comanche Nemina tribe, likes to work with, and that is the great horned owl, okay? And the great horned owl is that bravery to go into battle against all purveyors of darkness. And that's what's up. And love is your shield. So there's nothing to fear when you're in a place of love. Like nothing can touch you. Nothing can affect you. It's the smoke and mirrors. It's the illusions. It's the hatred. It's the resentment. It's the greed. It's the envy. It's the vanity. It's all of these qualities that divide us from love, instead of understanding that each of us are all a reflection of the Creator. Okay. And yes, sometimes people are soul sick, right? They're soul sick. But the way that we need to tend to the soul sick is not to exile them, not to cast them aside like Lilith was cast aside, but instead to pull them in with the community and hold loving space, loving intention around those who are going through difficult karmic passages. All right. So anybody out there operating in the club, moving from this consciousness and thinking you have the right to determine a price that somebody else should pay, you might find this to be an interesting evening. All right. Your reward, yeah, look at that. King of Wands, that's losing the fire. Look, King of Wands came out in reverse, right? That's not the proper use of fire. When we look at fire, we're also looking at power, the uses of power. To wield power is great responsibility. It's a medicine all its own. And sometimes people have to learn what happens when they misuse power. It's a necessary rite of passage to have the right to hold that power, right? Sometimes you got to get your fingers burned. And that is the path of fire, okay? Purification through fire, but something beautiful will rise from these ashes, all right? Oh, I love it. I'm looking over and like that spider that's been here all along, it's still like building its web, you know? It's got its action going on. So community stays strong. You know, face what you fear dead on. Don't let it rule over you, you know, because it's an illusion. The fear is the illusion. The separation is the illusion. The enemy being something separate from Great Spirit is an illusion. Ultimately, it's the same medicine. Look at this. Judgment. All right. Judgment in your favor. Consider yourself fortunate if you're over here on this neck of the woods. Okay. Judgment in your favor. Look at this. The sun. Here comes the sun. I love it. Look at these beautiful sunflowers. You know, you planted some really potent seeds, and you don't even understand at this point. It's going to be like a field of gold. A lot of you have been experiencing blockages in the area of finances, in the area of abundance, okay? Tonight is the night as you do your rituals. If you want to work with this energy of the moon, give up gratitude, pay it forward. Look at somebody in your community who's in need. Do you know somebody who's going through a difficult karmic time? Don't cast that person aside, okay? Pull that person in. Give them the support of your energy. Let's build this as a community, holding the light even around the darkness, okay? This is beautiful. It's like really bringing the sweetness in. It's growing the field of dreams, okay? What other guidance do you have for us, owl medicine? Owl is also the medicine of magic, okay? So when we see that King of Wands in reverse, we also know this is improper workings. This is workings that were done with malintent. And there's always a price to pay with that. You got to pay the piper, okay? But you know what? Sometimes you got to play tricks on yourself, and that is that trickster medicine. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. You know, this is like, it's playing tricks on yourself, you know, when you do that kind of stuff, because all you're doing is putting your energy out there. That's your intention, and what you intend, it's yours. It comes back to you. I'm seeing the letter R. I'm seeing a letter R formed in the web out here. Whoa. Okay, so I'm not sure what that means, but that's coming in. Yeah, there's some kind of balance happening here. All right, some kind of balance happening here. We got the Magician to the Two of Cups, to the Death, to the Eight of Swords. Somebody's doing time. Somebody's doing time in spiritual prison here, okay? Somebody's going to have to pay a price if they did any kind of workings that were about manipulating love, doing any kind of workings to divide a couple, to divide a union. There's a price to pay for that. Look at that. You know, those people will be sequestered, all right? You got to be true to your heart, you know? And I have to tell you, we're really operating in the realm of fairy. And in fairy, the enemy is those who oppose love. Never betray love in fairy. And if you are working to create division between two that are meant to be, if you are working to create endings for those people, look at this. Yep, look at this. Woo! Do you see? Look at that. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. And there's a price to pay for that, because that is the greatest evil. That is the greatest evil. To betray love is the greatest evil. Okay? So, you know, let's hold compassion for those who did do binding workings to keep two people apart, those who tried to create dissension in a household, tried to divide people who are meant to be united. This is coming to an end. This is being cleansed away. This bad blood is being cleansed away, and there is a price to pay, because this Ace of Cups is secure. This new beginning is secure. Do you see? Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Look at the little fledgling energy here, okay? Just rest in your little nest tonight, okay? Feel the sanctity of your little shell and just let yourself be nurtured there and tended to, okay? Because you're going to break out of that shell and you're going to enter into some new beginnings. Your blessings are coming in. You got the Ace of Pentacles, you got the Ace of Cups, okay? So there's nothing to fear here. There's nothing to fear here. Please, you know, if that's resonating for you, yeah, there's nothing to fear here. Look at this. There's nothing to fear here. The only ones who have anything to fear tonight, just because I'm so called to this, if you've been doing workings that are an enemy to the truth, an enemy to the light, an enemy to love, you know, you're going to be put on timeout by spirit, because this will not be kept from somebody. Look at this. 10 of Cups, all right? This is fulfillment. This is also freedom from being oppressed. This is freedom from being held back by those who were envious. Oh, I love this. Look at this. Look at these two owls down here. There's Frog there. Frog is the medicine of spiritual cleansing, all right? So please, this would be a great time to do a purification bath. This would be a good time to wash yourself anew. This would be a good time to release, okay? But you're going to have something significant come through tonight. For those of you who've been on the good red road, rest assured, you got your spirit team on deck, right? They're handling matters for you. They're addressing these matters under the moon, all right? They're transforming this energy. We got this warrior spirit energy here with Great Horned Owl. The Comanche, they would only come out and go into battle at the time of the full moon. And so everybody hunkered down at that time, because the Comanche were known to just rage for order. If you betrayed one of their own, if you were cruel to one of their own, they weren't going to forget that they were going to hold you accountable for it. And so they would work with a bit of this deceiver medicine, okay? Very strategic. And Quanah Parker, I mean, you should learn about Quanah Parker. He was an incredible leader, incredibly shrewd, very sharp, you know, very, very solid strategist, all right? There's a reason why the Comanche were the most feared tribe. It was because the Comanche had no fear. They had no fear. And they understood the promise and the potential of really being mindful of the sense of loyalty, that loyalty matters at the end of the day, that you're supposed to rise and stand with those who oppose those that you love, or those who oppose love. And if you don't, you know, then there's a problem with this, okay? I think you're going to get a memo tonight, all right? You're going to get a memo that comes in tonight. There's a message that's coming in from Spirit, and this message that comes in with this Page of Wands, it's you getting your Ace of Wands, okay? It's you getting that fire, and you're going to be really assured of your victory here with the Six of Wands. And your road is about to open, all right? Your road is about to open. It's a really beautiful, beautiful thing, okay? So stay in that place of love. Let's see the top of the deck energy here. Again, there it is again, okay? Balance paid in full. So you all don't need to worry. Those of you who have been moving correct, you know, you'll move through this evening very easily if you know the truth, you know, if you know that you've been moving correctly, if you know your intentions have been pure, if you know you haven't been involved in any kind of this maliciousness, if you know that you haven't been feeding division, you can rest assured. You got your blessings coming in. If you do realize that there's places where maybe you didn't act out of love, there's an opportunity for transformation here. So ride it out, man. Hey ho, let's go. Let's ride through. Let's ride through the challenges, and let's all ride it out together. Let's hold space for those who are doing this karmic cleanup work, okay? Karmic release work. Because, you know, if you start to move out of that place, it's a test, okay? Because if you start looking at like, ooh, you know, what is this person going to get? You know, if you're looking at that, like, what's their karma? Then you're already moving off the path of the good red road. And then you're going to find that you're going to be challenged pretty fiercely, okay? So stay in the sweetness of your heart. Wow. It's a cardinal right outside the window, okay? Some messages from Spirit coming in tonight. Pay attention. Offer up your prayers. Offer up your prayers for those who are going through it, all right? Send them love. Send them strength. Send them courage, okay? It's about holding in the proper space for this work around the community, okay? And it doesn't matter what comes to try to, you know, rock your stronghold on that light that you're holding, on the fire you're tending. You know, stay firm. Don't run from it. Stay in that centered position of holding the love, okay? Yeah, look at this. Fell on the floor. All right? This is the problem here for some of you. Some of you are not willing to let the world turn. And this is going to be really rough. If you're not willing to accept that sometimes things need to come to completion, sometimes things need to end. Sometimes you have to release people. Sometimes you have to release experiences. Sometimes you have to release a cherished wish or a dream. And if you cling to it, you can get stuck in this South Node action on karmic spin cycle, okay? So I really encourage you to have the courage to face it, all right? Have the courage to face it. Page of Cups, okay? Have the courage to face it. There's some opportunity here for you to open up to love, but you have a difficulty trusting it with the fish energy here, Piscean energy here. It is a Piscean blue supermoon, right? So this is about really understanding that where love is being offered and you have a resistance to it, the resistance has nothing to do with anything outside of yourself. It has to do with what's inside of you that's unable to receive love. Okay, let's do a cut of the deck energy here. See what we got. Yes, look at this. See? Four of Cups. Some of you are refusing. You're refusing. You are so hell-bent that what your blessing is to be fits in a certain framework. You think you have the right to determine what your blessing should be. You're trying to control things too much. And this is an opportunity you're being handed here. Look at this, Ace of Cups. You're refusing it. You're choosing to stay in this place of fear. You're choosing to block love. And often love looks like letting go. You know, love is like a soft, open hand. It's a soft palm. It doesn't grip. It doesn't cling. It releases. It releases with ease. And one way or another, this is going to be cleansed because it's time to play the fool. All right? It's time to play the fool. There's one way you can move, okay? You can be open-hearted to this experience. You can let yourself know that, you know, Great Spirit has a plan for you, and trust that what is meant for you will rise up to meet you on your path as you step into this new cycle, right? It's all in the details too, all right? Squirrel medicine there. Some of you are very concerned about your security, you know? You're feeling fearful of taking this leap. And, you know, I see this resistance. It's like one foot clinging to the ledge, 1 foot ready to jump, okay? So it's kind of that energy. We've been Merc writing, right? This is the time. It's time for us to timeline hop, okay? We got a timeline hop. That's what we're being asked to do tonight. So it's time to take that leap. You know, think of the flying trapeze, you know? There's that point, right, where there's the person on the other side when you got pairs doing the aerial arts, you know, where you have to like let go and you fly through the air and maybe you do some somersaults and you trust that that person's going to be there to catch you. This is the test, okay? This is the test. But you can't like partially take the leap. You can't partially take the leap. You have to be all in. You have to be all in order to take this leap. There are no safe spaces when it comes to love, okay? So you're dancing with the boogeymen tonight. Some of you might have a real aversion to clowns, you know, just even hearing this imagery might be kind of like creeping you out a little bit. A lot of people have a problem with clown energy, but clowning is sacred, okay? And laughter is sacred. Laughter is the best banisher of all, right? I feel like I want to get some messages from the angels real quick here. And ooh, 10 of Pentacles, I'm telling you, this your inheritance, your birthright, it's all here. You've already refined your soul, all right? You're standing on that pearl of wisdom, and it's going to elevate you. Look at this. You drew your sword. You drew Fragarok. You're taking the action. You're making a commitment with that shield there. You're committing to love. You're committing to the path of heart. And this is what brings you your reward. It's a refining process. Look at this big Empress energy. It's so beautiful. Look at that. You transmuted the poison. And because you transmuted the poison, it's washed clean. All the bad blood is washed clean. And you get to imbibe of the cure, which is to open yourself up to this energy of love. And there's so much growth here. It says fertility and fruitfulness assures peace between married couples. So that which is meant to be in union with each other is preserved. King of Pentacles energy right here, coming in very strongly. You already know this. You already know it's secure. You already got the memo from Spirit. You already did your journey. You faced your fears. You went through the hall of mirrors. You smashed the illusion of everything that separates you from love. You went down the rabbit hole. You encountered it directly. You shed your sacred tears. You let out your anger. You let out your ire. You know, you confronted your fears. You stayed watchful through the night. You didn't sleep. You stayed watchful through the night. You said, I will be a guardian of this darkness, and I will tend the light in this darkness. All right. There's a real powerful medicine in that, in just sitting in the darkness and allowing whatever wants to emerge there to greet you. Okay. This is you receiving what you are meant to receive. All right. So there's a real balancing happening here where a destiny was stolen or diverted from another. It's being restored. Okay. And those of you who had this done to you, maybe you've been going through a lot of suffering. You felt really held back. This is an opportunity for those who held you back or those who interfered to really understand what it's like to stand in your shoes. And I'm really being called for some reason to the imagery of Wizard of Oz. And I'm really like considering that piece of, you know, home. You know, Dorothy wanted to go home, and we're all walking each other home, right, on the good red road. But we have to apply the golden mean to get there, right? We have to gain certain keys, you know, and this is, again, it's all in alignment with the jewels of the Tuatha De Danann, and we need to have our courage, we need to have brains, we need to have heart, and we need to find home. And first we have to feel at home within ourselves, and at home within our choices, and at home within the work that needs to be done to bring about balance. And once we arrive there, we realize that all of these apparitions, all of these things that have haunted us, hounded us, kept us in this place of suffering, of struggle, of a feeling of lack, of not feeling supported, of not having enough. It was all an illusion. We were operating, you know, the levers behind that screen like the Wizard of Oz, right? This is an alchemical lesson in the use of power and what it takes to wield power wisely. And if this is your first time around with that, all right, and maybe you're new to the path of alchemy, maybe you have been doing workings and it's something you've been exploring, but you kind of bought into the Hollywood craft version, you know, the craft version of what it means to walk the path of the witch, the wizard, the shaman, the alchemist. And you had this perception that it was about anything pertaining to ego. You've already lost the way. And it's sort of like off with your head kind of energy. You have to, you know, sort of lose your head to drop into your heart. And there's beauty that comes from this. I think you can rest assured, you know, you don't need to draw your sword. Look at it. You already did it. You're like, nah, I don't even need to put up my shield. I'm already in that place. I know this is secure, you know? I know this is secure. It's beautiful. Look at this. The Hermit. Word of God creating all. Alchemy and transformation rules natural events and helps with spiritual progress. Okay? You're going to see a whole new way forward with the Two of Wands here. Love and wisdom. Victory over those who would attack you. I'm telling you. I've been trying to tell people. And there's people out there, they just don't get it. They don't get it. They think it's their job to met out punishment. And they don't understand that pride comes before a fall. And I'm really called to this imagery of Icarus, okay? Icarus thought that Icarus knew everything. Like Icarus thought that they could fly up to the sun, you know? And they ended up singeing their wings and taking a great fall. This is that same kind of energy, all right? Pride comes before a fall. All right. But those who are taking a fall and they're gaining this necessary medicine, it's a necessary medicine on the path of the alchemist. And if this is the first time that you're learning it, just know you have a whole community around you, and we are holding love around you, safety around you, protection around you as you integrate this medicine. All right. You're going to have to be brave, man. You're going to have to come into your heart. You're going to have to light that light of love inside of your heart to be able to see the way forward, okay? You're going to have to face your demons. You're going to have to face the truth. You're going to have to dance with the devil and see the reflection in your own eyes, and understand that sometimes you don't really know the truth of a situation, and you don't really know what's justice in a situation. And I think about that piece. I think about Dorothy wanting to find her way home. And I think of the good witch, you know, meting out punishment to people. She kind of cursed Dorothy when she put the wicked witch of the east shoes upon her feet, right? And then the wicked witch of the west, her sister, was vilified, right? Was vilified. And there's this piece here that you need to understand, that no, those ruby slippers were the birthright, were the birthright of that bloodline. They stole from one's kin. And so this is pay up time. You know, those of you who stole something that was meant to be another's birthright from them, it's time to balance the scales. But you got the support of your community as you do this work, as you do this healing work, as you make it right. You know, we have to remember that before the scales are balanced, Anubis takes over. Anubis takes over, right? But look at this. We got loyalty, delivery from those who seek to oppress, and it brings victory, all right? It brings victory. So just know, if you're here, if you're gathered at Broad Coven and you're like, ooh, gosh, I think I made a wrong move back there. I think I operated unethically. Your community is holding you, okay? We're holding you. We're giving you the courage to face your fear. But there are some corridors, particularly the house of fun house mirrors, that you have to walk through by yourself, right? And just know that we're on the periphery and we're holding secure space around you, so you don't have that opportunity to quest for that light taken from you, all right? Because it's all about cleansing yourself, making yourself, rise from those ashes, and with it, take the lesson of how to wield power wisely in the future, all right? Which often has to do with continually letting go, giving over to spirit, and looking at the places inside of yourself where you feel hell-bent on control, where you feel like you know what another needs, or you know what another's birthright should be. Nobody can earmark that. Only Great Spirit can earmark that, all right? Six of Pentacles, all right? This balance needs to happen here. It's essential, and it's pay up time, all right? Divine grace cures rage and pestilence and absolves the guilty. And that's what's happening here, all right? That's what's happening here. So work with the water energy, work with this water elemental. Allow yourself to have cleansing tears, take cleansing baths, maybe do a white bath, okay? If you're unfamiliar with a white bath, you can get 5 different white ingredients. You can use milk, you can use sea salt, you can use sugar, vanilla, coconut milk, okay? Any white ingredients, 5 of them, get them together, okay? You can put them into a tub and soak with them, all right? And when you're done soaking in the tub, then you want to get out. You don't want to rinse yourself off. You want to leave that milk on you, that mama's milk on you, so you can be nurtured in this release. And you can simply just like pat yourself dry and then dress yourself in all white, okay, to symbolize this purification, this cleansing. And see, it says here, if you do this, okay, if you do this, if you recognize I moved in error, right? Great Spirit's very generous, right? Great Spirit's very generous. If you recognize I moved in error, I didn't see the error of my ways, I misjudged someone, I didn't really understand, but now I'm coming into that place of love and I see more clearly, all right? This is about you understanding that there's healing capacity here, okay? There's protection from weapons and safety in travel as you journey, as you do your journeying work, okay? To gain your freedom from what has held you back from seeing the truth. And the truth is that you are love. Love is all around you. And love is here to support you. And love is the way through, all right? And there are some people here that, they will be held accountable. They will be held accountable. We got the angels on hand. They're pointing them out, all right? I think you've already figured this out. Those of you who've already been through this Hall of Mirrors, because some of us have already gone through it. We already did. We danced with our demons. You know, we faced the fear. We released our anger. We danced it out, right? We danced it out. This action was going on last night. It was just like so beautiful. I just felt like this whole of humanity just dancing together, just letting it out, letting their demons out, you know? And it was just such a beautiful sweetness. And it was like after all of this like bad blood was released, oh, I'm getting so much sentience. There was this beautiful, like silky, soft, sweet energy that just came in. It just felt like just being held in the arms of the mother. It's just the most beautiful, beautiful essence, okay? It's out of your hands now, okay? So those of you who had this experience last night where you really felt like cleansed, you know, and you felt this beautiful peace and this soft sweetness come in, congratulations, all right? It's out of your hands, okay? The angels are in charge of this one. They're doing the cleanup work. Just know your Ace of Cups is here. It's coming in. It may have been a long time coming, all right, but there is rejuvenation here, and there is mercy here, and there is the promise that there is a new way forward, and it has longevity, all right? Let me do a cut of the deck here, and then I'll pull out a Halloween card. Just for those who are doing the dance with the darkness tonight, yeah, look at you. So many of you set yourselves free, right? You were in this place, you were guarded, you were guarding your heart, you weren't letting the love in, you were like, you shall not pass. And you're using those swords to cut a way through, right? You're using those swords to cut a way through. All right? We're purifying that energy, sending it to the ocean to be purified in the salt water, to be cleansed anew. All right? It's a sacred dance, all right? It's a sacred dance. And I encourage you, let your clown come out tonight, okay? Let your clown come out tonight. And we'll all hold it together. We'll all hold it together. Breaking the circle lifts opposing barriers and brings victory. There's no need for a circle. There's no need for protection when you stand in the light of love. It's a very beautiful, beautiful challenge that's being presented, but I can see how it can be kind of dicey. There's a lot of guilt that's being transformed. There's a lot of shame that's being transformed. There's a lot of feeling like one is cast aside or is not supported by their community. So this is really about developing a largesse of heart. 58:33 on the clock. 13:33, power, okay? Coming into a place of power, self-mastery, where you stop viewing the other as an enemy and you understand that it's just a reflection of you. It's just a reflection of Creator. And we need to imbibe a bit of the poison to arrive at the cure, right? It's actually really beautiful, powerful energy, right? Yes, look, invisibility, authenticity. There's nothing to hide here, right? There's nothing to hide here. Let's get some guidance for those who are doing one more dance, one more sacred dance with the devil and the big top tonight. Let's give some guidance for them, you know, about this process, what's on the other side, spirit. Those of you who made it through, you got your spirit of blue. Ted, yes. You committed to the path of heart. Congratulations, okay? You may feel a resurgence of this like shadow energy trying to act out, much like, you know, my lights kept getting knocked over here, right? You just have to recognize that it's just mischief. It's just mischief. And if you're able to be in a space where you don't get activated by that, or you don't tell yourself a story about it, you don't internalize it, you don't take it on, then you're really going to discover a new sense of freedom, okay? It's really wild. There's interesting things happening with the time, because I looked at the clock and it was 58, and now it's like 1:37. I'm gonna have to upload this read the old-fashioned way. It's interesting. Yeah, look. Sweetness and synergy. This is what's on offer for you, okay? But when it comes to sweetness and synergy, it's all about paying gratitude, okay? Paying gratitude for the harvest, all right? I also feel this is like paying it forward. Ted's over here like, yeah, he's feeling it, okay? So this may be about making some kind of peace offering, okay? Maybe about making some kind of peace offering. This can be a gesture. This can be an apology. This can be something, you know, to clear out the bad blood, to make things right, okay? And this promises, you know, that you can come into alignment with your harvest, with your blessing, okay? So nobody's denied. There's enough for everybody, all right? Any further guidance for the collective here? Any further guidance for the collective here? Any further guidance for the collective here? It is being challenged tonight. It still has that which is unlike love to be cleansed. Any guidance to help them through this process? Ooh, okay. All right, here we go. Got 4 cards that came out, okay? We got the witch, the earthly weaver of worlds, right? This is all about purification by fire. It might burn. It's kind of fierce when you have to own some actions, but this is how we get born anew, you know? It's a purification all its own. The old way has to be released so the new can come about. This is about really being in that place of transparency. It's about being in that place of authenticity, owning one's actions, okay? This is what brings about the synergy and healing. Look at that. I love how it came through. Dogged his cauldron. Look at that. There's that spirit of lose sitting in that cauldron. Then we can get things cooking, all right? And look at that. Through this ending, through this closure, through this release, through this surrender, through this letting go, comes the skull of light that illuminates the way forward. Happy questing.